The South African Youth Economic Council approves of the takeover of Anglo American by global mining firm BHP. Anglo has had significant internal operational issues over the past 6 months and announced plans to retrench some 3,700 workers. Well, to discuss this proposed deal further, I'm joined in studio by the South African Youth Economic Council chairperson, Bonga Makhanya. Bonga, good evening. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time.
Evening, Bradan, and good evening to all the listeners of eNCA.
Some sectors of South Africa are not happy with this deal of BHP taking over Anglo American simply because Anglo American is richly embedded in the history and heritage of this country. BHP is a foreign entity. Why do you think it's a good deal?
And again, thanks for having us, Bradan. I think just to clarify our position, I think as a council we've made it quite clear that we don't necessarily support the deal for BHP to take over Anglo America, but we do support and welcome the international interest as well as just general interest to take over Anglo American, because it's a company that has been struggling over the years. As you have mentioned, about to retrench 3,700 workers. And I think if this was an SOE or if this was a government entity, people would be calling for it to be privatized and sold and changing the management and so on and so forth. But as a council, we've made it quite clear that we believe that this is an opportune moment for government to come in and step in, increase its stake using the PIC, who currently owns 7%, and go for a majority shareholding, together with local partners, local business people, youth consortiums, community consortiums, so that we've got an inclusive ownership of Anglo American. Like you said, they've got a rich history with South Africa, which has not always been great or positive, by the way. I'd argue to some extent Anglo American has been quite hostile towards the South African government and South African projects over the years. And we think this is a good opportunity for government to actually finally own a productive mine and strengthen its presence in strategic sectors of the economy.
Would you rather